still evades me.
Right, back now. Right, let's see. So I think so far, actually a decent pool. It's not blowing my socks off for Fang, but it is a functional Fang deck, I think, from what I'm seeing here. Yep, that's decent. A lot of, sorry, the last two were really restricted around the second link. I think that's fine. Sisters of Fire is like hard restricted to the second link, whereas Sizzling Steel is like soft, like it's just enhanced by the second link. But a +4 is really good at reaction speed. So I'm not hating this. And yeah, this is actually, this can be like an extreme power card, right? If you are able to come with a dagger an additional time, that can be very, very strong. I would play a decent number of these, even though they're not draconic. I think they're a good like dump for your fealties when you get extra. Kind of already talked about it, but dual threat, I don't think that's really good enough in this deck. We don't have enough red GA attacks, so yeah. And then looking through yellows, yeah, okay. All right, so at this point, I think I'm good to start cutting down my deck. So the way I go with that is, first I change the size of these. So I think this guy's just cut, throw in the maybe. I think this just goes in the maybe as well. And then I think I'm juggling between Vengeance and Starting Point, depending on who I'm playing against. If I'm playing against Arachne, if I'm playing against Cinder or Fang. So I throw this in the maybe. Sorry, I throw this in the inventory. That'd be my equipment loadout. And then let's take a look at here. I think Blessing of Vincerikai is not good enough. I'm just gonna take that guy out. So chronic reaction, gonna stay in. Cut deep, 3 block, +4, staying in. This in the maybe board, sorry, in the inventory for Arachnes. Drop, good. Dynastic, good. For the Drakai, good. For the Emperor, good. For the Realm, good. I think actually this whole like for the cycle is pretty decent in Fang. So I'd be on the lookout for those, especially things like for the Realm or for the Drakai. Like those seem, honestly, all of them seem pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's good. So where are we at? 42. Outed. Cut that. Pledge, good. Public Bounty. Inventory, that's gonna be like my maybe. I'll see if I just cut that straight up. Scalding Iron, also gonna put in the maybe. I'm gonna double check to see what my count of Draconics are. Scar Tissue. I don't think that's good enough. Yep, Draconic Reaction. Draconic Reaction. Draconic Reaction. Take a Stab. Potential Power Card, Dual Threat. Throw that in the maybe. So at this point, we're at 35, so we need 5 more gone. And I think those 5 are just going to be yellows. I think this pool actually is like looking kind of weak now that I'm getting down to the actual numbers. Incision probably stays around. Yep, that's good enough. That's kind of weak. I'm gonna put that maybe. Lay low. Inventory. That's actually, I don't hate that. That might just stick around. Public Bounty, I'm gonna put that in the maybe. Take a Stab. I think I'm gonna put that in maybe. Point, maybe. Okay, so where are we at? I think we're at 28. Okay, this Fang pulled kind of sucks. That's what I'm seeing here. So this is just gonna go on the deck. And then maybe you just need to run these. Maybe you just need to run some number of these, like mark them when you do the thing. Yeah, this pool looks weak to me. Yeah, that's not good enough, is it? Yeah, I'm just gonna cut those for the Scar. I think we're at 30 now, right? Yeah, 30. Yeah, this pool's kind of weak. Let's see if we're making any weird decisions here. So that stays there. think that's maybe, I think we just keep these there. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so that's default loadout. We have the 30 cards. We have our 3 reacts on the side for Arachne. Yeah, nothing super weird. Okay, let's draw a few hands, see if it's functional. I guess I didn't go over the blues. The blues are like kind of what they are. I think we're pretty weak. I think we have pretty weak blues too. Maybe not actually. Looking through some of these are... That's actually not too bad. That's actually not too bad. Yeah, that's... Alright, I take it back. These are actually pretty decent blues. There's probably like, even this one's not too bad. Yeah. We're fine here. We're fine here. Yeah, it's decent. Cool. Alright, let's draw up and take a look. Once again, I forgot to put in the weapons. What's it called? Obsidian. Got 2 of those guys. Okay, let's draw up. Alright, so for first turn... Yeah, so I mean, if I was going first here, I would just be going Obsidian, pitching the cut, then Pledge Fealty to give this go again, then Relentless, then Obsidian, and then I'd probably just Arsenal the drop. I don't think I'd want to play it on the second one. So that's fine. It's kind of a cruddy first hand, but it does make 1 fealty guaranteed, and then possibly a second one if they want to block the second dagger. So it's not too bad. And it's just kind of like your ramp up turns. So this is probably against Syndra, I'd probably want to go first so that they're not going first. Against Fang, I want to go second, I think. Against Arachne, I think I'd also want to go second. So in general, I'd be going second. So if I'm going second with this deck, then I'm basically have 2-3 blocks, and then I have 2 null blocks. The Pledge, I can just play on their turn, so it's not too bad. And then the drop is like just a dead card on the first turn. It's probably the worst card that I have on turn 0 when I'm not going first. So let's see, going into next turn, assuming I have 1 frailty or 1 fealty, and then maybe have them marked. I'd be looking to, yeah, this kind of a crummy one. I think I'd want to Arsenal the Sizzling. So I'd like to just go Incision, then Scalding, then Blistering. So that's going to be coming in for, what is that? 3, and then 5 off of 3 cards. So 8 off 3 cards, so that's below rate. But we do get to Arsenal a good card. Hopefully we're coming into a fealty on the next couple turns, so our daggers are free. Here, I'd probably be looking, this is kind of an awkward one, so I'd probably just be looking to block with these 2-3 blocks, and then just pitch the take a stab for the hunt. I think that'd probably be my best bet on this turn, just so that I can keep around any fealties with the Draconic being played here. All right, on a turn like this, yeah, I mean, I probably, at this point, I'd be maybe having my fealties online on turn 4. So I could definitely be going, like, yeah, I could definitely be expecting to go, like, basically just play out all these for, like, free. Like, maybe block with this guy here. Or if I don't have my daggers online, this is a way to get it. So yeah, this is a pretty decent hand. Like, say that I still need to pitch, so I go pitch my Hunt Killer. Then, yeah, I'd have to play out probably, well, it would have to be Searing Gaze, and then Scar Tissue. Yeah, that's not, sorry, it would be Searing Gaze, and then hopefully that hits, get the mark, and then on the next turn, play out the Scar Tissue and the Sisters of Flame. Yeah, it's not too bad. It'd be nice to set one as a reaction in my arsenal, so maybe I'd be looking to set the Draconic Warrior here. and if say I generate a fealty, maybe you would be playing with the sizzling from the previous turn. So deck's definitely functional. 2 blues here, 2 block, 3 blues. Yeah, so it's not too bad actually. I can still just play with the For the Realm. Even just doing like setting the cut deeper blocking with it. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay. Let's look at the last two hands we have though. So for the Emperor, we have no more Draconic Reacts. So I guess that's something just to keep in mind when playing, is making sure that you're pitching Draconic Reacts so they can actually close out games. And then final hand. Yeah, I guess the cut deeps are pretty decent now that I'm seeing actually like drawing them. Just getting like a 0 for 4 is like pretty good for Fang. Yeah, cool. Okay. And the last two are Scar Tissue and Kai. Yeah, overall, I think this is actually like a serviceable Fang deck. I wouldn't be jumping at it though. It's like fine. I think I have a decent number of reactions. I don't think I left anything too crazy on the side. Like maybe these Blessing of Vincericais are just like, maybe these are really good. Maybe I should actually be valuing these a little bit more, just because they're a nice way to keep your fealties with a 1-card hand, and then just pump up like your next turn. I don't like the fact that part of the value in this is like baked into giving Draconic to your next attack. That makes it feel a little bit bad because I don't have any attacks that are not Draconic in this list. So maybe that's something to look out for with like generics, or yeah, maybe I don't even know what generics they'd be. Okay, so that'll be the Fang deck. Okay, and next, let's take a look at Arachne. So the first thing I noticed though is I am way lower on the equipment. I don't think I have a chest here, right? Yeah, I'm missing out on a chest. So right off the bat, I don't know if I'd be playing Arachne just because I see that. The leapfrog is good. I think it's really good against can be really good against Fang, right? Because we saw that like Fang needs to be cares about the number of Draconic chain links. So you get a lot of value there, I think. You know, by a lot of value, I mean like 2 value off of like each of them. So that's really good. I think the boots, the red alert boots, like whatever, and the starting point are, I think, are actually really good in Arachne, just because you can have big power turns where you get that extra action point, which is something that Arachne can suffer with sometimes. It's actually getting like multiple action points in a turn. Okay. Another thing to notice is we actually have the biggest card pool out of the 3 here with the 58. I think the other ones were like 40 something or like low 50s. So yeah, that's something to look at. But let's go through the same thing where we're going to take a look at the rarity. So we'll be looking at the Majestics and the rares to see if there's any power cards in there. And then we kind of already went through the equipment. And then I'd go through and take a look at the reds to see if there's any other power cards hiding in there, like the Majestic or sorry, in the common slot. Okay. So rarity. Scroll down. All right, it's Majestic. Ooh, looks like I have some pretty good ones here. So Kiss of Death, notably really good. It is a dagger attack. It has stealth and also has an on hit where they lose 1. So it's really good M. I hope I pull this in person. I need to play a set of these guys. Pain in the backside, notably really good in Arachne, just because you can have one of your daggers hit, right? You can have the effect, like if you have your, probably add them right now actually. What it's called, Mark of the Huntsman. Yep. 2 of these guys in. So you can connect with Pain in the backside and then have your Mark of the Huntsman trigger and mark them. It's really strong. Back to where I was though. Yep. Cool. All right. So Kiss of Death, really strong card. Pain in the backside. Also really strong card. Dual threat, really strong card. I think in Arachne can be a little bit tough just because you might not be able to get that middle link where you get an attack with Go Again. Okay. Sorry. And then throw dagger. definitely decent. I think in Ninja it's better, or at least in Cinder I think it was better. But for Assassin it is still pretty good, like especially if I have a way to make a graphene Silicera, or whatever it's called, the token dagger. This card can definitely be really good as a way to replace a dagger that I flick. So I think this card's really good. So actually a really strong set of Majestics for Assassin. The weakest being dual threat. I think Cinder makes best use of dual threat. And then Arachne being next. All right. Yeah. Orb Weaver. Definitely a really good card. In red, I really like this card. So I think it's pretty compelling so far. Like a pretty strong, like rarity wise. Cool. Okay. So let's take a look at the rares. So I think we've seen some of these before, but we have Bite. It's fine. I'm not like jumping at it. It's fine. I do think that Cut Through is actually really good. Just did to 0 for 4 in red. I like that card, so we include that. Already talked about Orb Weaver. I'd include that card. Stain. I think it's a very strong card, so I would also bring in this. It gives an action point and pumps 3, and it can also cost 0. Very, very strong. Blocks 3. Yeah, Whittle. Another really strong card, just because you can attack with your Huntsman, and then throw in the Whittle. They'll be marked, hopefully, and then you get to make the Graphene on the back end just from attacking a marked hero. So really strong there. Bite in yellow, not great. Stain of red back in yellow is fine. I do think that To the Point might be a little bit better. Like the yellow To the Point might be a little bit better in Arachne. I would prefer these were red, but they're not super strong. Bite, just a blue block 3. And then Cut from the same cloth. I think this is actually really decent in Arachne. Yeah, against Fang, right? Just a nice way to mark them. Sometimes, right? If they reveal an attack reaction. But yeah, I think it's a fine card. I definitely not shy away from playing this. It's a blue, it's fine. And then Relentless Pursuit. Already talked about that a little bit. Okay, cool. So those are the Majestics and the rares. So it's a fine pool. It's not like an insane Arachne pool, but there are some really good. There's some really good cards in there. Okay, so let's start going through and actually taking a look at our deck. We need to make a lot of cuts. We need to cut 28 cards. So I'm probably just gonna be, yeah, look at that. Wow, 25 reds. Yeah, so I can be pretty aggressive with what I'm cutting. Honestly, like basically all the yellows are gonna be gone. That's just something I can see right here. Just like all the yellows, and then I'm probably gonna be cutting down to like somewhere between 18 to 22 reds, depending on what the pitch curve looks like, and then have my blues reflect that as well. Yeah, let's go through that. First off, I'm just gonna get rid of this. Actually, am I gonna get rid of this? That's actually a consideration in Arachne, I think. Just because it's a way to get rid of like your crummy cards that you put in Arsenal. Like if you have a, I don't know, a blue Bite, you put that in Arsenal for whatever reason. You just, you know, use it to defend like 3 at reaction speed, which can be pretty strong. So I'd consider playing that. I'd have to think about that for a second. And Regular Boots is actually decent against Fang, so maybe I should be considering that. I'd probably consider all of these pieces. Bunker Beard being the weakest, just because Leapfrog Vocal Sack is like actually a pretty decent slot as well. Okay, let's go through. So put the trap into inventory. What's this guy? Trap, put it into inventory. So it's nice that I have 2 traps, really strong. Bite. Bite in red, I would probably keep around. Cut Through, already good. Kiss of Death, good. Another trap. So we have a really strong trap suite. Mark of the Black Widow, that's the Banish from Hand. Definitely keep around. Mark of the Funnel Web. A little bit more weak because it's conditional, so I'd put that in the inventory just a maybe right now. I think I might like Mark the Prey in 3 red. I'll keep that there, but that's like, I might cut down to 2. Orb Weaver, good. Outed, do not like that. I'm just cutting that straight out. In the backside, keep that guy around. Plunge the Prospect. I do not think I want that. Yeah, the marked economy is like something to be considering for sure with Arachne, just because I was taking a look at the hero power. Is definitely something to be considering just because you get the go again when you hit a marked target, and also just gets the +1 when you're attacking into them. So it's nice if you can do like multiple, if you can use your hero ability to get multiple action points in a turn, right? Or just getting like the value off the +1 is also really valuable. That being said, I don't know if Plunge might be good enough. I'm going to keep it around. I'll keep it here for now. Poison Blade is fine because you get to go Poison Blade, pitching a blue, then Dagger, and then hopefully you get to go like Dagger again, then summit, you know, Stealth card, and then pay like a 1 cost. It might not be good enough actually, but in red I think it's fine, just because it is going to be a good pitch curve. Similar to Public Bounty, it's kind of a similar rate where you get the +1. So you get the +3 and you get the +1 because they're marked. So it's decent there. Scalding Iron, that is not a playable card, so we're just going to remove that. Okay. And I think I do like Scar Tissue. Just 0 for 3 with Go Gun, basically. I might cut this down to 2 copies though, so I'm going to put 1 into the inventory. Scout of the Canal. I don't think this is good enough. Stained, good. It's +3 for daggers. I'm going to put it in the inventory maybe. And Whittle, probably good enough. So the reds are like fine, but there's not anything super crazy here from what I'm seeing actually. Bite, probably just gonna put that into the hard maybe. Dual Threat, that can live in the main board just because there is a chance you get to go like Dagger, attack, have it land. Maybe you're attacking with something like Cut Through, or you're coming with like Poison Blade, or where's the other one I'm looking for? Like Pain. So there's a chance that you get like all modes off this, which is big value. And I think it's just worth keeping around for that by itself. Okay, so target dagger gets +2. I think it's probably fine as a 1 of. Lay low, put that on the side. Might not be good enough actually, but a 0 for 4 in yellow is actually really strong. Actually, you never get that, do you? Unless I do it off of, yeah, let's do it off of Lair. So that might just be the hard maybe. Yeah, I think I just put that on hard maybe for Arachne, just because I consume, or I don't consume, sorry. But I do want them to be marked. So I don't know. I'm actually waffling on that a little bit. Maybe I just put that back in the maybe. I can find it. Where did I put it? There it is. Inventory. Okay. But yeah, being pretty vicious with the yellow cuts here. This is, it's fine. I don't think that's good enough. So we'll cut that. I'm actually gonna just full cut that. I don't think this, yeah, we'll cut that. I don't think I'm gonna be doing too much retrieving. Public Bounty, cut that. Reapers, probably stick around. I'm gonna straight cut that. Take a stab. Yep, straight cut that. Yep, cut that. +3 in yellow. It needs to be marked. I'm gonna straight cut it, honestly. Okay. So, into the blues. I do kind of like the discard to mark. I'm gonna cut that. Cut the blades. Let's take stock of where we're at, actually. We're at 32. 32. We cut a lot of reds. So we might have to go back and include some more reds. So let's double check our yellows and then see if we just want to cut 2 blues though. Yeah, I don't know. It might just be cutting incision. And then cutting that. And we're down to 30. So are the blues good enough where they're at? Because we're at a lot of blues. We're at 12 blues. So you might want to swap some blues out for something a little more impactful. Yeah, I do think that's good enough. Incision. Yeah, incision is good. In blue, I think it's good, specifically. Mark in blue is fine. Yep, plunge is fine. That's fine. Yeah, I actually do like those. I'm going to cut that, though. I'm going to try to find another red to put in, or just use those as, like, sideboard cards. Yeah, probably just throw that in. Cool. Okay, so I think we're at 30. It looks pretty decent. Yeah, that's a decent ratio. 17 to 11. Pretty good. Equipment, I'd probably just put this in, like, inventory. Keep those as main. And then put that in inventory. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good loadout. Okay, so let's draw a few hands and see what this looks like. Notably no chest, so already do not like where I'm at with Arachne. But I mean, this is a good spot. You just go, I mean, it's a fine spot. You get to go pitch a blue and then swing a dagger. Like, I guess we'll go through the same way we spoke of before. So against Syndra, we definitely want to go first because we might be able to snipe out some like power cards from her. I think we have a decent chance at fatiguing Fang, I think. Syndra might be a little bit tricky depending on their deck because I think they have a lot of ways to leak damage. So going second against, yeah, I think I'd probably want to go first against Syndra, and then probably go first against Fang, actually. Yeah, I think I want to go first against both. And then against Arachne, I'd probably want to go second. Okay. Yeah, okay. So here, say we're going against, we're going second in general. So we have a hand of good blocking value, right? 3 blocks and a 2 block. So we're happy to just block out damage where we can. Otherwise, if we're going to play this hand out, then we're probably just going to be going dagger, dagger, and then bite. And I don't think I'd be looking to actually flick the dagger on the bite. I would be looking to Arsenal the Stains, and that's a fine spot to be in. So Arsenal the Stains, hopefully save it for something a little more impactful. We'd even try doing something like we could, if we're against Fang, we'd even consider doing like the cut. We can consider going cut, then mark, then bite, and then definitely Arsenal the Stains. Yeah, that's not too bad. Cool. So with this hand, we're probably just looking to Arsenal the Orb Weaver. There's something we want to not block with since we only have one in our deck. So I'd even consider pitching it. I'd even consider going like, depending on what the matchup is and what the state of it is. Like if we're on turn 2, I'd really be looking to like maybe just go block with like the 2 marks, and then if we still have that red back in Arsenal, then play out the red back, pitching the Orb Weaver. So doing something like that could be a decent way to play this hand out. It's not like super pitch efficient, but it does keep a threat in our deck, and we're playing it a lot of 3 blocks, so I do think it's actually like a okay way to do it. So assume we don't have an Arsenal on this turn, right? Based on how I've been talking this out. I mean, yeah, we're fine to just go. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably go Poison Blade, then Dagger, Dagger. If one of them connects, I would definitely destroy it, and then I'd be ending with Whittle to get back a Seraphine here. Or not a Seraphine, Graphene. So yeah, pretty good hand. I think it plays out well. It blocks well. Does it scale down? It does. I can block with a blue, and then I can just go with a single dagger attack. I can choose not to block, or not to swing with the poison dagger. I can choose to just block with 2 cards and then send in the Whittle by itself, and that's just a, yeah, so that's fine. I think that hand scales well. Here, we're fine to just do something like a dagger, then if it connects, we go with cut through, and we can consider having the dagger destroy to mark them, and then come with plunge. And then plunge could maybe go again from Arachne, and then we could go in with mark. So yeah, pretty good hand here too. I'm liking how this deck is playing out so far. Here, yeah, we're good to just go like, we probably want to go Scar Tissue Dagger, and then depending on what they do, we might just go play out Relentless, or play out another Scar Tissue, then pitch the Relentless. We can do something like that. So this hand does decent things as well. Also locks a little bit weaker. I mean, ideally we're not playing up both Scar Tissues on the same link, so we'd either just go like Dagger, plunge, and then, or like Scar Tissue, Dagger, and pitching the plunge, and then go Dagger, pitching the Scar, or we'd Arsenal the Scar, something like that, and not swing the Dagger another time. So yeah, I think this hand's fine. So far I haven't really been tracking like what would happen if I flipped Arachne. I think I'd probably want to have 1 trap in the main just in case I hit trapdoor, actually, now that I think about it. So that's something to consider. Other than that, if I'm just hitting like the generic like discard your stealth to do the thing, this hand also does that, right? You discard a stealth. Similar here, I have discard stealth, do the thing. I can target stealth. Actually, I can't target stealth because I only have the 1 stealth here. So yeah, this is not the greatest hand. So yeah, this is a little bit weak. I'd probably just want to like Scar Tissue, like play like a 3-card hand, but even a 3-card hand is like below rate, which is not great. I think this hand is one where you want to try to flip into an Arachne. But I'd be doing something like pitching away the throw dagger or something like that, or blocking with like the scuttle and the throw dagger or something like that, or blocking in some degree for this hand. And then down to here, yeah, I have the dual threat. You can probably play that out. Yeah, so overall, this deck, actually just like goldfishing through a few hands, I am seeing that it really does rely on like flipping the Arachne and like just leveraging the hero power on like the base Arachne. Just make sure you get that +1, make sure they're marked, making sure that you're paying attention to them. Like paying attention to getting this like +1 and getting like a lot of value off of it. I think this is like actually one of the stronger lines we have. This first line here, your attacks with stealth, they're attacking and marked, get +1. Because it just hits breakpoints constantly, which is really nice. And like, especially when you get them into like sort of a blocking loop, that +1 becomes really, really annoying, I think. And then the on hit, like, it's really nice to just threaten, like, am I going to arsenal this card, or am I going to play this out? And I think that's the value of these like 0-cost 3 powers, is that you can always just do, okay, you connect on a marked target, and then you come in for another attack. It's really strong. Yeah. So overall, this deck seems fine. It's not like a blowout deck, but it does seem like a decent deck. So to just give a review of, is my pool still open? Guess not. So to give a review, I think Syndra might have been the strongest deck out of this pool. Taking a look at this, I think I got a really good density of red starters and red filler attacks. I think I need to find the right ratio of like chain enders. So talking about things like, where are they? I'm gonna find one. Where are they? Yeah, something like this. Something like the for the cycles. So for the Drakai, or for the realm, or for the emperor. I think those are all decent enders, especially the first two, like the for the Drakai and for the Emperor, just because they cost 0 and 1. Getting 2 costs is a little bit awkward sometimes. So I think this deck's pretty strong. I think this pool was nice to Syndra, so maybe that's gonna be something to look out for, is like Syndra is just like a good default option, maybe. But it really does depend on like how many of these red GA attacks you have, and like if you have a nice curve with them. I think that's really important with this deck specifically, is just doing a few test hands just to see if like you're getting an awkward pitch curve you might have just not caught during deck building. Like if you have a bunch of 1 costs, that can be kind of awkward. Okay. Next, I think Fang was probably our weakest pool. I think it's a functional Fang deck. Maybe there's not a lot of pools that are like completely bricking Fang, but I do think that this is I'd be below rate on a lot of hands when I was goldfishing this out. So maybe that just means you need to be doing the warrior thing where you're blocking with your 3 blocks where you can, and then your 2 blocks are your reacts that are the ones you actually want to keep. I think it's also tough to really evaluate this deck in a goldfish just because you need to be tracking the fealties. But I think that similar to Syndra, just make sure that your hands are like functional, and like goldfishing before you play a game, just make sure that your hands are functional and that you're keeping track of like, okay, what does this do with 3 fealties and without? And then finally Arachne. I think this was my second strongest pool. Yeah, it seemed functional. I think I really like the 0 cost reds for 3 power, just because of the text on Arachne. I think that makes a lot of sense. The first line of text of the game +1 if you're attacking a marked. So overall, I think this was definitely the second strongest, maybe even the first strongest, just because I had such a nice count of traps. Like Hunted or Hunter, really strong. Den of the Spider, really strong. Lair of the Spider, also really strong. So overall, really strong trap pool. I should have one in the main just for when I randomly flip to trapdoor. Yeah. Overall, I think this is not too difficult of a. I mean, it's a slightly difficult set to build, I think, just because you need to be aware of what if you're bricking your deck first off, which I think you can definitely do, but also just keeping track of like your pitch. I think pitch is really interesting in this set just because you have so many of the cost reductions and 0 cost and things that care about chain links. So keeping that in mind. Yeah. Overall, really excited to play this deck in a pre-release, or play this set or pre-release. So